Happy Monday! Welcome to Mr. Y Inspirations channel. This is where I share my entrepreneurial journey with you and only speak of the truth. This is take number two right now, and I think in comparison to the previous week, this is definitely a huge step and much more improved compared to last week's video. And then I actually finished take number one in one shot. But then when after I finished recording and then I took a look at it, I realized there was no audio. It was probably because I was on the online webinar before recording, and I didn't realize the recording audio was off. So yeah, so I think that definitely relates to what I'm going to talk about today. And then as in the entrepreneur journey, there's always up and down. This is one of them. There's always things that happens without you expected, and this is as real as it can be. But yeah, but then well, let's dive right into it. Remember to subscribe smash the subscription button down below the video, and I would definitely appreciate that. For my family and friends out there, if you're watching the video, remember you definitely do that, and then smash the subscription button because I have installed a tracking device on this video to track who's exactly watching the video and then who's subscribing to my channel. So I know who you are, and definitely do that. Just joking with you. And there's no such tracking device, so no worries. But I would definitely appreciate if you subscribe. So let's recap for what I talked about last week. And last week, and I briefly introduced myself. I was born in Taiwan, came to Canada 20 years ago. I worked for Enterprise Rent a Car for the past 7 years. Started out as a management trainee, and then after a year, I got promoted to the assistant manager position, and then after another year, and I become a branch rental manager. And for the rest of the 5 years, I was working as a branch rental manager, managing five different locations. So I spent about every year at each location. One of them was at Vancouver International Airport. So if we ever met, nice seeing you again. And this week, actually, before we jump into that, after being an employee with Enterprise Rent a Car, and then I started my entrepreneur journey in May last year at 2017. That's where all the story began. Um, and yeah, and then currently I own two companies. One of them is a Canadian immigration consultation company, and then the other one is an e-commerce. I do have an Amazon and also a Shopify store. So that leads me to this week's topic to talk about the comparison between the working a 9 to 5 job as an employee versus an entrepreneur journey. I think before we jump into that, let's talk about the pros and cons because I've experienced both, and then so let me share with you right now. The pro for let's talk about 9 to 5 job as an employee first, and then the advantage and benefits is definitely the stability of income. So like every 2 weeks, you know exactly how much money is gonna be depositing into your bank. And then when I talk about the 9 to 5, I'm not talking about the higher management type of position because those type of positions it's sort of like in the middle between being an entrepreneur and then also a regular 9 to 5 job. So like when I talk about the 9 to 5, it's really related to like during the weekend also like after work every day you don't have responsibility, you don't get phone calls, and then your responsibility only falls like when you're at work. That's what I'm talking about today. And then so stability of income, and yeah, so you know exactly like how much is coming in, so then you can plan accordingly in terms of your budget and also your expenses. And also the other thing I think a lot of people usually don't talk about, but then like what I realized though is that the like working as an employee when you build consistent income throughout the years, and then I think a lot of people actually have mortgage and also car loan and also like you use credit card. So then when you have that string of income like coming in consistently during the years, and then also you continue to pay off your mortgage, your loan, things like that, and then it actually builds your credit pretty good. And then so that's also the advantage. Like when you apply for a mortgage, when you buy a property, right? And because of that, like because you're able to provide that you have consistent income, and then it's actually like easier for you to get the mortgage. And then versus like, and then obviously like if you become entrepreneur and then you have years of business, and then also to show that you consistently make profits, then of course you're also gonna be able to get the mortgage as well. But I'm just talking about like if you just start out with a small business at the beginning versus like with a 9 to 5 job as an employee, that's what you can actually build, and then leverage your credit. And also the other thing is that the as an employee you get to enjoy the excitement for the weekend. And then so I remember like like back then, um, every Friday in the afternoon when you start thinking about the weekend, what I'm going to do, and especially if it's a long weekend from Saturday to Monday, 3 days off, and you'll be so excited, and then think about like what you're gonna do, and then you have plans, and then yeah, you plan out everything ahead of you, and then like, oh, I'm gonna go out with this friend, or I'm gonna hang out with my family, I'm gonna do this and that, and that's that. I think that's I sort of miss that, miss that part of being an employee, and then also truly enjoy your days off during the vacation, and then also or after work. After work you go home, and then you have a nice dinner, you watch TV, maybe you play game a little bit, whatever you do, right? You don't think about work. And then also during the weekend, and then you can hang out with friends, and then without that work responsibility, and then you don't really feel that until probably Sunday night when you start thinking about, oh man, like I gotta get back to work the next day again. Ah, but however though, and then like from Friday night all the way to Sunday probably afternoon, as you really don't think about work, and then you can truly enjoy your time. So those are the pros. But to talk about the con, right? Is and then is working at a job like throughout the years, there are times, especially years down the road, right? You don't know how the economy is going to change, or there are times that the company will restructure. That's when you have the fear of being laid off, or losing the job. And then I mean, like it's harder and harder when you and then when you age, and then when you become older, and it's harder for you to come all the way back and like leaving a job, and then look for another new company or a new job again. It just gets harder and harder that way. So that's sort of like the risk that you have to face as an employee. And then also and then it's also the income earning potential is limited, even though you know that exactly like what money is coming in is expected, but you also know that for years down the road, your income earning potential is probably, not saying that it's not going to increase, it's still going to increase for sure. However though, you're not going to see that dramatic change unless you're working at a job which you're in an area where like you're able to get like into a much higher management position, or like the position, or if you are working at a skilled job, and then you get pretty well paid by a skilled position with experience. Then but however though, it's in a way it's still limited. Those are the cons for being a 9 to 5 employee. And let's talk about being an entrepreneur. Let's talk about the pro. And so in comparison, right? And then you have unlimited income earning potential this way. So your business is a representation of yourself. So if you continue to develop yourself personally, and then that's when your business will grow. So you can do that by um, reading books, watching the news, and then attend the like attend seminars, attend webinar, things like that. But then what I'm trying to say is, and then the opportunity is unlimited. There are so many entrepreneur opportunities out there right now that you can leverage and utilize to build a business. Um, and then at the beginning, and you may see like it's more of a flat line in terms of what you make. But however, though, like if you build a really good foundation, years down the road, you'll really be able to make passive income if you are able to automate your business, and then you're gonna see a dramatic increase, exponential increase of your income down the road. The other thing is and then I just briefly talk about um, the financial freedom. Um, owning like starting out as the entrepreneur journey, and there's opportunity for you to retire early and then still be able to make income down the road after you retire. And then I think a lot of you watching the video right now know what the passive income is. It's like you don't have to be physically at certain places or being or watching over things all the time. You're leveraging your money, also leveraging the other people, and then to generate income for you. And then that's what the entrepreneurship is all about. um, and let's talk about the con. You're solely responsible for your own business, so that means like you know pretty much 24/7. Like if the business becomes part of your life. Let's put it that way. Like at the beginning stage, like for my entrepreneurship, I there's no such difference between weekday and weekend. I pretty much work every day, Monday to like 7 days a week, 10 to 12 hours a day, pretty much. But the thing though is like I don't have to like I can actually like organize my calendar and then work at certain time. So then, like, it's not like I'm telling you that I'm sacrificing my personal life just off everything for work. It's not like that. When friends invite me, or I still hang out with family, friends, and then still being able to do what I want to do. But then it's just that at the beginning, like, I really want to be able to scale up my business and then build a really good kind of foundation. So I'm enjoying the journey right now, and like so then I'm willing to put all my time into it. And then when I don't hang out with family or friends, or like, yeah, so I just want to be able to build a really good foundation for myself and my business. So and let's talk about the up and downs. And then you will need to have a really strong mindset to deal with the up and downs, and then for your business. And then it's not just the beginning; it's going to happen always, regardless of how big your company is. It's just part of the running the business, and then you're gonna experience unexpected events, and then you're gonna have to find a solution for every single time. So that require like and then that sort of ties into the responsibility. So you keep thinking about your business all the time, and then there are times that it will actually like strike you really hard, and then you're gonna be able to and then that's the difference between being a really good entrepreneur or successful entrepreneur versus a fail entrepreneur, right? So, and then also during the early years of being an entrepreneur, you have to invest a lot of time, money. It depends on what kind of business you're gonna do, but then time wise, you're gonna have to put in a lot of time, more than being a 9 to 5 employee. because at the beginning, you have to start learning about everything about every aspect of your business, and and then I'll jump actually into a little bit detail about the business. It's not just about opening up a corporation, right? It's also about at the beginning you want to try to minimize your expense as much as possible, so you have to do everything. You have to do your advertising, and then also you have to deal with the customer service aspect of your business, and then also you have to do your own bookkeeping, and then well, obviously when you eventually file the tax, you have to pay accountant to do it. But however, though, you can actually try to do the bookkeeping and also a lot of paperwork yourself in order to minimize that expense at the beginning. And and I think this part is entirely up to you how you want to do it, because some people like to outsource everything. But I think at the beginning it kind of depends on your personal situation, but I think it's quite hard to outsource everything at the beginning. And also I think it's a good thing for you to learn everything, every aspect about your business, yourself, so then later on you can outsource it, and then at least you have a good understanding of what those tasks or what those aspects of your business are like. So there goes the pros and cons of the in comparison between being a 9 to 5 employee versus being an entrepreneur. And and then now let's talk about what what's a right or wrong. And then you know what? Let me tell you this. And there's no right or wrong choosing either path, and it is all about you actually. You have to recognize yourself and identify yourself about your personality, your characteristics, and then also and then also what you want in life. And I think what you want in life is very important, because money money is a quantity, and so how you perceive money, how you perceive that number, and it's different with everyone else, right? So let's say if someone is a millionaire, he may not think that he has enough money to pay for what he wants in life, so therefore he's not happy. But versus someone who makes an income of, let's say, $3,000 Canadian dollars a month, but that money is more than enough to pay for what he wants in life, what he really desires in life, and then he's super happy with his life. You see what the difference is, right? So it is actually all about and then how you perceive, and then also how you like how what kind of stuff you want in life exactly, right? And speaking of that, right? I think the the so as a final recap for what I talked about in this video today is like truly think about, first of all, you should need to truly think about what you want in life, and then what you get, like what you have to get in order to make yourself happy. Like what's your ending goal, what you want to achieve 10 years later, 20 years later, 30 years later. Because there's no right or wrong answer. If you're a conservative person, um, and you don't like taking on adventure, and then you're already happy with everything you have as a 9 to 5 employee, and then definitely stick to it. But however, though, like if you are consistently looking for a venture journey, you're not happy with where you are right now, and then you have a very open personality, and then you're not afraid of up and down, and then entrepreneur journey, here you go. And then yeah, please like and follow my Facebook fan page. I'll be putting the link down below, and let's connect. And if you ever see me on the street out there and in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and then please feel free to say hi. And then I love getting to know new people, and then I join a lot of network events, and I like to meet with new people, and then share the experience and everything, and I think that's pretty cool. And also, once again, and then please subscribe the button, subscription button down below. join the I welcome you to join Mr. Wine Inspirations channel. And lastly, I think this is about 20 minutes video, so probably the same as my take number one. And yeah, so yeah, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you. Oh, before we go, actually, the I would like to talk about what I will be the topic for next week. So the topic for next week is going to be about Amazon. Amazon is the current, as you know, the e-commerce giant, and I would like to talk about it as a buyer perspective because I see a lot of complaints actually about like I don't know I got this product from Amazon, it sucked, it's a really bad product, or like, oh, it took me like so long to get a product, or the product didn't get sent out, or you got lost, things like that. And then, so I would like to share with you, since I'm a seller on Amazon, to share with you how you can find good products, and also how you can and then find products that will get delivered to you in a timely fashion. And it's pretty straightforward and simple. So that's gonna be a short video, actually, very easy. And but I think it's by yeah, but it's very important to know. Yeah, so yeah, well, there we go. I'll this is the end of the video and for this week, and I'll see you next week. Peace.